I'm going to explain a complicated part of the recovery journey and why you might be at that part and why you have stayed at that part for quite some time. And that is, along the recovery journey, you are going to find yourself improving and not being as scared of something. But then OCD is going to morph and move and create something called the backdoor spike. And basically, that name is where you're starting to feel relief and think you're right at the finish line, and then it goes, because you're not anxious anymore, that means that is a threat of some sort. I'll make that a threat. Oh my God, I'm too calm. Maybe a risk happens. Maybe I really like the thing that I'm scared of. Hence why we work towards unconditional self-acceptance, whether you feel scared, whether you don't feel scared. You've got to get used to feeling not scared, even if you feel not scared in any situation. That those symptoms, those feelings, not symptoms, emotions, you've got to get used to. And that's what happens, because you're going to start feeling better. You're going to not feel anxious all the time. And then OCD is looking to sabotage in its one last move, its last grip. I don't care what emotions I feel anywhere, anytime. And I've been through all those different things that OCD does, all those sneaky tricks it does. Right now, I'm currently on holiday, and when I used to be on holiday, that's where it used to go for me, specifically because it likes holidays. It likes to get a grip with holidays. And apart from that, not just the holiday sensation, it trying to ruin your fun, but what it also tries to do is any moment you feel happier, it's going for. Any moment that you feel calmer, it's going for. Maybe you've just gone for a massage because you wanted to relax because OCD's been bothering you a lot. Well, what happens when you do that? OCD then turns up the heat. Maybe you've been feeling calm all week and now you're suddenly realizing I'm too calm. Maybe you're now scared that you're a sociopath, psychopath, no feelings. That's a common OCD fear when someone has got harm-related OCD, that they then become obsessed with, oh my God, does that mean that I'm a psychopath because I now feel calm? Oh my God, I feel more numb to emotion now. I've been doing lots of exposures and I'm not so scared of things that usually trigger a lot of people. That's what it's going to do. That's where it's going to take you, okay? That is just one of its additional tricks, because you are measuring the internal weather of how you feel 24/7, okay? I do not measure anything, really. I measure, obviously, the work that I do, and I measure, obviously, some experiences in life, thinking, was that good or not? But there's not much time going into that at all, really, on a day-to-day basis, apart from your obvious work that you do need to measure, like I've got to think, who have I got booked in, who have the team got booked in, and doing those kinds of things. But usually life, I'm just living. Okay, it's the same as like when I make these videos. I'm making this video in a hotel in front of this curtain. Now, this isn't exactly the backdrop that I would be making an OCD video in, particularly because it's kind of an old style. Now, I haven't really thought about that at all. I just make the video, right? I don't think, oh, I need the perfect background with a nice white background with the OCD recovery logo and everything, because otherwise I wouldn't get round to making videos, because often I have to travel and I couldn't do that. And then the time thinking, oh, you need to go and film here, or you need to go and film there. I haven't got time for that. I make videos wherever I am, and I make them just spare of the moment, not planned, to go through information that I think will be helpful for people along the OCD recovery journey. And that's all I'm interested in. That is all I care about in this channel. This channel is designed to be real, talking about the reality of OCD. It's not talking about thoughts or any of that light nonsense that keeps so many people stuck in the OCD community, and is why so many social media posts are just very light cotton wool wrapping type comments that do barely anything for OCD. And when you're stuck, you see more and more of that and you think, bloody hell, is that all the help I'm going to get? And that's what it was like on my own journey, going from one video to the next, where it was like, you need to just think of it as a thought. You ain't going to be able to do that. That's not as simple as that. For some things, yeah, getting out of the sort of internal fight mechanism that goes on with fears. But if you put your hand in a tarantula tank and you had arachnophobia, you were very scared of spiders, do you think you'd be able to tell yourself, it's just an eight-legged creature that's just trying to live its life, calm down? No, you'd be very, very scared. You'd have a very strong emotional response. So it's very important to be aware of these things, because otherwise you'll come down on yourself like a ton of bricks when you find things hard. The OCD recovery journey is hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, it's not rocket science. But when I go to a bookstore anywhere in the world, I often walk in a bookstore, and I was with Mom in the other day, well, not the other day, about 4 months ago in the UAE, and I went to a big bookstore, and we went to the psychology section, and we picked out books at random that were on anxiety. And pretty much every single one was covering thoughts of thoughts in some form or another. That's basically all it focused on. Every single paragraph was reassurance over and over and over of you are fine, you are not your thoughts, over and over and over. I could have bought all 100 books on that shelf, written one paragraph that covered them all, and said, don't bother buying any of these books at all. Just read this paragraph and save yourself buying 100 books. Now, in reality, that's not how I would plan to do things. I plan on releasing my book that I'm working on at some point that will cover all things in detail and will be pretty long because there's a lot to cover on OCD, and I certainly do not highlight it's a simplistic journey. Simplistic in some parts, but not simplistic in entirety by any means. And for years, the OCD recovery journey has been painted as such, this simplistic idea, and people love that and love to cling to that. Oh, I just need to let go. I just need to leave thoughts there. I just need to get comfortable with anxiety most of the time. No, it's a lot more than that, okay? There's a lot more than that. If it was that simple as just leaving anxiety there, I wouldn't even need to write a book. I would just have one page in the book. It'd be 1 page long, and the page would just say, leave anxiety there. That's all to it. That's all there is to it. Thank you, Robert Bray, goodbye. That would be a terrible book. Now, some people would read that book and say, wow, isn't that profound? Isn't that absolutely profound that this guy has made it so simplistic what so many books have covered? No, there would be some wisdom in that yes, that is a part of the journey, but by no means all. And I have no intention of writing a book that's even 3, 4, 5 paragraphs just covering that message, which there are many. And there used to be so many ebooks in the past that I used to pick up, and people used to send me years ago, decades ago, saying, oh, you just need to play a musical instrument and just get into the music, and then you'll be distracted, and that works for all anxiety. No, it doesn't. The same as the tarantula thing. Imagine yourself sitting in a chair full of tarantulas all over you, and then just telling yourself, I'm going to play the guitar, I'm going to relax, I'm going to breathe. Life is not that simplistic. It's the same as trading videos crap that you see on TikTok, where people are like, I just became a multimillionaire trading. No, that in reality is not the case at all for 99.9% of people. I can't think of actually meeting one person who day traded to a very successful long-term position. But I have met countless people, including the barber that I was just talking to just now, who was like, yeah, I'm doing a lot of day trading. I know for a fact that he's probably at a loss, right? I don't know for sure. I'm not 100%, but I could pretty much bet that if I looked at just the things he said, that thinking about it realistically from the things he said, it's almost 100% that he's at a loss. And that's because things seem simple that often aren't. And I remember a very famous investor who wrote a fantastic book called Principles, Ray Dalio, a book that I would actually add to the reading list because it's all about life and overcoming obstacles. He said, when you think of trading, think of it a bit like a marathon. Think about how many people enter a marathon. Well, way more people want to be rich from the stock market. So therefore, those people all those people are competing to make money out of the stock market. Now that means that level of competition is extremely high. But people presume just because they're on their laptop in their bedroom and TikTok videos have said it's easy, think of just even of big influencers that say things like, oh, it's easy. No, it isn't easy, right? If it was easy, there would be barely any poverty. There would barely be anyone struggling. It's obviously not easy, right? The same as those ads that say you can just work 4 hours a week. I have never met anybody that has built anything or got to any level of financial freedom doing something 4 hours a week, ever. I can't even think of any very successful people I know now that still work 4 hours a week. There's always something that takes more than 4 hours a week. Accounting, some problem in your financial life in terms of some plans that you're making, maybe doing up a house. This takes more than 4 hours a week. So that's really important straight off the bat to realize. And that's exactly the same as OCD. Why would you presume that it's going to be a simple journey? Why would you presume it's going to be easy? Now, I have to make these videos often quite forcefully on these points because there's so much nonsense out there for so long, and it left me stuck for so long. So I like to clear that up and make that really, really highlight that so you don't come down on yourself like a ton of bricks and you realize that what you are facing, because that's key. Like, if I was going to join the military, for example, they'd make it very clear initially of, this is going to be very hard and there's going to be a lot of risks, right? And anything you do is like that. If you go to climb a mountain, you meet a guide, he's going to tell you very clearly it's going to be tough, it's going to require this level of fitness. And that's what I'm doing here. And if you go in with that fluffy approach, that reassurance-y tone, you're just setting yourself up for setting up people for disaster because they think, oh, it's going to be easy, and it isn't. And often people say to me, oh, Rob, you tell it how it is quite bluntly. Yes, I have to, because all day long I get hundreds of messages that are asking me things because of that sort of cotton wool-like approach that have left them in that position. And that's very sad, so I have to make it very clear. You can recover from OCD no matter how many years stuck and no matter how severe you're being affected by it right now. And I was a very severe case. That was the reality. If you just look at this YouTube channel, there's 3,300 videos of the team here breaking down in detail the journey we've been through. And you can see very clearly the obstacles along that way. So I want to paint the reality. That's what I'm about. Every day with the organization, with everything we do here, I paint the reality. Everyone I talk to in the team, there's quite a few people that work here, and I have to go through and explain in detail, very sort of punctually, of what we have to do, what we have to achieve, and different things, because that's the way we get things done. If you're realistic, then the world is a realistic place, and then you get things done. If you go in with an approach that's not linked to reality, then things don't get done. I have to be realistic and say to myself, hey, when I'm working with people with one-to-ones, they're going to find it difficult. They're going to find recovery difficult. They're going to not want to read the books. They're going to not want to do exposures. They're not going to want to break down beliefs. And I have to be aware of that, because by being aware of that, then I can support them and make the adaptations to help them recover. And if I went in with, oh, it's easy, and then someone's stuck, I don't even understand how some places even manage to get anyone better, right? When I see things like people send me links and they're like, oh my God, have you seen this top clinic that does like brain scans for OCD and then recommends diet advice? I know in 1 second it's complete crap. What do they do when someone goes in there with severe OCD? Does the person just go out going like, yeah, I think I'm better, bye? They must literally just have every person just going back in saying, I'm still stuck. And then them saying like, yeah, it will take time. You need to drink more celery juice. This is a total disaster, complete disaster. And that's the same as when all the intro emails that come to me all have variations of these things. Oh, I've done ERP for 4 years and I'm still stuck. Yes, because OCD's morphed a way around the ERP and now you need to break down the beliefs. Oh, I've been doing a lot of yoga retreat in Thailand. I'm still stuck. Yes, because OCD is resilient and it gets round any yoga that you're doing. It will find a way round. Otherwise, we'd just be running a meditation and yoga clinic, and that doesn't work. Same with exercise. Rob, I've just ran so many marathons and training, but my OCD is still there. Sometimes I'm distracted. That won't work. If that worked, again, we'd be opening gyms for OCD recovery, because that would be the best way to get people recovered. So those things definitely do not work. Exposures are part of the journey, not all of the journey. Exercise is part of the healthy life structure, but not all of what you need for a life structure. You are going to have to work on perspectives. You are going to have to work on them time and time again to recover, okay? And that is vital. On this team, we all have to adapt around people's journeys to give them the optimum way of recovering. Someone like Nick is coming in with a high energy, super optimistic behind them to get them recovered with a great knowledge of OCD. Someone like me is coming in very directly about what needs to be done, how to do it, how to achieve it, and then going through that in layers and steps. Someone like Momin is coming through his own journey of being housebound with contamination OCD and looking at the intricacies, the details, the nuances of where they were stuck, and then going again with quite a firm approach, tough love, to making them take the steps to recovery that they are aware of they need to take. So if you want to recover and you want to realistically get through the hurdles and take the different steps, we can help you. But you are going to need to read. You are going to need to do exposures. You are going to need to break down your beliefs time and time again. But we are in your corner 100% of the way. And we have been through this journey. We know it's going to take a while. We come from an angle of compassion, but getting things done. Okay? And we leave it to you to do them because you want to get better, but we guide you and show you exactly what you need to be doing to really improve your life. And it's up to you whether you do it or not. But we are here and we can help you. And there is no theme that you could say that we don't hear day in, day out. Look, there's 3,300 videos on this channel. It's the largest resource for OCD, and those videos are long. The reason being is because we cover things in detail and understand it. I could write a book on sensory motor OCD, yet I find barely a single book on OCD that even mentions sensory motor OCD because it's so misunderstood. That chronic internal sort of self-torturous cycle where you feel locked in your breath. I had that for years, and I thought that was the one theme I would never get over. I recovered from that. Nick recovered from that. That's what Nick came in with, and so have so many people that we've worked with over the years. But it's going to take persistence, practice, and time. But we are here to walk that journey with you.